Hello, wealthy family, and thank you for coming and sharing some time with me today. Today, I wanted to talk about how to put love in every situation, even if it's something that you may feel doesn't deserve love. So, before I jump into it, welcome new subscribers. Thank you so much for growing with me. Be sure to like my videos, drop a comment below. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe and connect and let me know where you are joining me from. So, how to put love in everything. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying you should walk around and think that everything's is roses and lollipops and peaches and cream, because that's not the way life works. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying have the emotions that initially come to you, but before you feel yourself sinking down into that or staying in that situation permanently, put love towards it, put healing towards it. So, what's helped me along my journey is looking at every situation as happening for me and not to me. See, there's no victimization here. I'm not just a victim of life circumstances. I create my life. I create my reality. So if something is happening to me, no matter how I may perceive it, how positive it may be, how negative I may perceive it to be, I have to remember or remind myself that it's happening for a reason. I created this scenario in my mind, in my actions, in my vortex, if you will, and it's now happening to show me something, right? Because everything that we do is a result of a certain set of stories that we tell ourselves. There's a couple variations, but not that many. And if you really sit down and you thought about the way you react to things, you had an honest conversation with yourself, and you looked at the way how you react to certain things, you would see that that is accurate. There's only about 7 or 8 ways that we normally handle and deal with things, the storyline that we tell ourselves to justify the things that's happening. So when you realize, one, that you are the creator of your own reality, you bring things into your vortex, you attract things into your vortex, into your well-being by the things that you say, you think, and you do. So even when something that seems so traumatic, and I mean, I understand everything that is out there. I have experienced many things. As a matter of fact, yesterday I had a very traumatic day, and it could have left me feeling like I should give up, like I'm a failure. And instead, I felt those emotions. I allowed them to be. I thought about it, and I put love to the situation. And it feels so much better. But had that been me maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it would have been a different reaction. It would have been a different outcome to the fact. So I'm so thankful now that I can see that everything that happens not just for a reason, but for me to learn something from it, for me to be able to better myself, for me to be able to get a clear understanding into myself, my persona, my psyche, and my everything else that encompasses my whole universe. With every bit of good, there is an equal amount of negative or wicked or evil. For every a bit of righteousness, there is an equal amount of unrighteousness, because the universe is balanced and it's beautiful. The universe is perfect harmony. So you cannot perceive only the greatness and not perceive the things that are lacking. And once you come to have a deeper understanding of that, it allows you to transmute those feelings that you normally would allow to consume you and keep you stuck in a rut, in a cycle. It allows you to break free from that. and put yourself on a different path. That's what ascending is. That's what ascension is. Because the place where you're ascending to is pure love, is pure light, is pure greatness. So you have to allow yourself to become the things that you want to see. Think about how you would want to be dealt with in a situation. If something happens to you, and I'm not saying, please understand, I'm not saying that if something really, 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 really traumatic and out of the blue happens to you, that you should just say, oh, okay, I forgive you and I love you. No, that's not what I'm saying. Deal with the emotions that arise so that you can get to the root of it, so that you can stop the same cycle of feelings that you get every time you think about that situation or you relive that situation, so that you can stop reliving that situation every single time that is brought up in anything. That's what I'm saying. So allow yourself to love yourself enough to be solid in the decisions that you make towards certain things. You cannot control things. You cannot control anything on the outside of you. The only thing that you can control is yourself and the way on how you react to it. And I'm telling you, I felt so much more better on the way that how I reacted to things. Well, I shouldn't even say reacted, because it wasn't a reaction, because I was prepared. I prepared myself. That's another way on how you can always put love to a situation, because if you envision the scenario, or at least know what the worst case scenario is, if you at least know what that is, you can prepare yourself to it so you can respond instead of reaction. Be prepared. So I didn't react, and that was beautiful, because a lot of things, the situation was handled way more beautifully than some people would have handled it. And it was amazing because I was prepared. I had that foreknowledge so I could respond to it in a way that I had already chose to. But see, I don't sit down and dwell and think about the worst case scenario, right, all day. I don't harp on that. I just know, okay, what is it that I would like to happen? What is it that's the worst thing that could happen? And by saying what's the worst thing that could happen, you're essentially putting it out there. So maybe the worst case scenario that you envision is not the worst case scenario that really could be. But in your world, it is. You understand? The worst case scenario that you create now becomes the worst case scenario. And the best case scenario now becomes the best case scenario. So you can now prepare yourself to respond to either extremity, any extreme. You can prepare yourself to be ready for it, but you can also be prepared for what happens in between. Something's gonna fall somewhere in between, and now you're prepared all ways, all different angles. Now you're not caught off guard. Now you can say, man, okay, I know what to do. Thank you. That's why it's important to be prepared on all levels. So the only way how you can be able to put love towards things that normally would cause you hurt is if you allow yourself to feel the hurt, release it, so now those things can never hurt you again. By essence, you've turned it around. You turned that hurt around. It's kind of like what people try to do to make you immune to something so it can't bother you anymore. By giving you the thing that you need to become immune from, letting you deal with it, fight it out, transmute it, become one with it, and now it can't affect you anymore. That is how you deal with things that would normally cause you stress and discomfort and dis-ease. That's how you rise above that and deal in love. You feel it, and then you change it to what it is you want it to be. Because essentially, whatever it is that is happening happening for you in that scenario, in that situation. If you grasp it and you get the lesson and you become one with it and you change it around to fit what you want, now you're no longer a victim. Now you're a director. Now you're in control. Now you are allowing things to come to you freely because you've already seen it. And you already know there's a balance. So you already know that some way something's going to come to balance something out. It's not that you're looking for it, but you're just aware. And that is beautiful. So, wealthy family, that is all that I have for you today. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend, and I will see you all soon. Until then, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love.